Today we're here with Eddie Thompkins, author of Flagrant Misconduct. So our first question is, Eddie, what inspired you to write the book?
Well, there were two stories that I felt that needed to be told. One of the stories is my story, and the other story is a gentleman who was my best friend in high school, and what I've done is basically merge those two stories. And I had been thinking about this for probably about 2 or 3 years, about writing the book, but I turned 50, and as you know, when you turn 50, you got to check off that bucket list, and I was really compelled to do it. So it was the passion behind those two stories, basically.
Okay. What genre did you select, and what's your target audience?
I've seen the book cast in actually a couple genres. The first genre I saw it appeared in was sports drama. The second would be biographical fiction, which I thought was kind of an oxymoron, but I've seen it cast in those two genres. As far as the audience, I think male and female. Males will like the sporting part of it, the aspects of it. Females will like the relationship aspect of it. I'm not really a big name dropper, but if you like the movie Blind Side, if you like the movie Remember the Titans, it would fall along similar genres like that, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the book, if you could, without spoiling it.
The book takes place in the 70s, and it's about my first year in my high school's desegregation program. Basically, in the mid-1970s, our school was mandated to be desegregated, and there was about 4,000 students, and I was probably among the first 8 to attend. So it's about our experiences, both black and white, and as I mentioned, there was racial hesitance on both sides. Whites, some of them felt that decision was forced upon them, and some of the black families felt that they questioned the ability of the school officials to guarantee safety of the children. So that's kind of the backdrop of it.
Could you tell us about the main character?
The main character, well, it's a real-life Incredible Hulk. A real person who's 6'7", about 280 pounds, solid muscle, at 17. But with the heart of a teddy bear. You know, I like to best describe him as gifted but imperfect. I think people will enjoy the story because, first of all, it takes place in the 70s. There isn't a better decade than the 70s. I mean, here in England, if you turn on the radio, you still will hear 70s music. You know, you have the music, you have the fashion, you have the sayings. It's just a good time to cast a movie in. You also have dysfunctional relationships. You have fast cars. You have high school romance. And great music. And also there's a good twist at the end of the book.
Can we talk briefly about the editorial process?
The editorial process. It was brutal, but honest. And I think it was needed because I wanted to deliver an industry standard product, you know, and I would be unable to do that on my own. Yeah. So, but not all of the changes or recommended changes I accepted because I didn't feel that accurately conveyed the message. So I rejected a few, but I think the most important part was that I was able to maintain my narrative voice. I wanted to be able to write a book where people would know I wrote it, where people wouldn't think that, oh, Eddie must have hired a ghostwriter. So it's important when people read this, people that know me, they'll know that it's me speaking.
So you have Dreamcast.
Yes.
Can we take a look?
Sure. I saw the movie Karate Kid, the new one with Jaden Smith. I thought he really pulled it off. I thought he was really convincing. I thought his moves were really pretty convincing. And this movie being about a wrestler, I thought that he would be able to bring that same emotion and even learn some of the technique. I think he would be perfect for that role. Obviously, the movie, most of the movie is a flashback in my teens.
Right.
So he would be about the same age I was in school when the book is portrayed. As I mentioned, this is a flashback, so I had to age progress myself. And obviously, if you age progress Jaden Smith, you don't come up with Wesley Snipes. You know, you have to come up with somebody who resembles him somewhat. Mm-hmm. So I picked Terrence Howard, and I'm a big fan of his as well. I've seen him in The Best Man, Hustle and Flow, and he also did a buyout of Muhammad Ali, and he's a brilliant actor. And if he sees this YouTube video, I hope that he'll be getting in contact with me.
How are book sales?
Book sales. Don't know yet. The book was just released last month, mm-hmm. So we get paid royalties every quarter. Hopefully I don't get a bill instead of a check, but I have looked on the internet, and the book is available in Japan, Finland, various different countries on their Amazons. Yeah. So I'm very optimistic and really believe in it. But once again, this project was not about money. No. It's about telling a story. So if I can achieve a profit and tell my story, then I'm all happy.
Do you have any dedications or acknowledgements?
Yes, I do. First and foremost, I'm a Christian, so I thank God first and foremost. But secondly, my mother and father, I dedicate the book to them. My father passed away a few years ago. When I was a kid, they told me that I could do anything, and I was silly enough to believe them, and which ultimately led to me writing this book. But in addition to my parents, I acknowledged every living relative, even some that were deceased, and even some that were unborn. And the reason why I did that was because years ago I did a calendar that included some of my family members, and I neglected to mention a few. So this time I made sure that I've got everybody you could possibly think of.
Are you working on another book?
As a matter of fact, I am. This book is the prequel to Flagrant Misconduct. It's actually the summer before Flagrant Misconduct takes place, and it kind of explains things that happened in the first book. The name of this book is entitled My Name is Elijah, and that statement will make sense at the very end of the book.
So returning to your book, Flagrant Misconduct, where is it available to purchase?
You can find the book actually quite easily. It's available on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, ebooks such as Kindle, and of course you can find it on my website.
It's been fantastic talking to you, Eddie. Thank you. Look out for the book.